Hi, yeah, so this is a Unreal Engine 5 prototype I've been working on, and the reason why I wanted to basically work on this was because it focuses on two major areas that I don't think I've really focused on before in my previous game internships, which is networks and AI, or video game AI. Networks I did touch on a little bit in my first internship at Behavior, but that was literally one World Cup ago, right? That was 2022 World Cup was happening then. Now 2026 World Cup is happening. So it's been a long time, and obviously wanted to touch it on again and improve on it and expand my skill set. So essentially, this is, as you can tell, is a multiplayer game because it's networks, right? So it's a two-player cooperative game where one player controls the legs of the fighter and another player controls the arms of the fighter. So this is a fighting game, if you can tell. But without further ado, I'll show it and demonstrate it as I go on. It is kind of hard, be in mind, because I'm trying to also control two players. I'm holding a mic with one hand. So I try to remap the inputs so that you only have to use really one hand, but it will be a struggle. So please be aware. But essentially, you can start the game, and you can see the AI moving towards me, and it'll probably beat the crap out of me. But I'll show you the movement essentially. So if I'm controlling the arms player, QEAD can attack, and you can see the attacks, and each attack consumes a stamina. So you can see on the bottom left, that's the player. The stamina goes down each time, and for the client, for the server, you can move around. So you can see that this is I'm currently controlling the legs player, and they can move around and they can slide. And usually slide will be able to get away from the player, right, to essentially regain stamina, and kind of regroup yourself. But here's the real fun part again, right? So that because you're a legs player, you actually can't attack. Right, so I'm pressing QEAD, but I'm not attacking, I'm just moving around. For the client, I can't move around. If I press WASD, it does nothing except for the attack. But obviously for the sake of the demo, I die here. But if you die, yeah, a little Breaking Bad season finale, sorry for if I spoiled it, but zoom pan out, rotates out, and you can see it takes you back to the start screen. So that's basically the network part of the player, where you can see, if you saw in the video, everything is synchronized, the UI is synchronized, the animations are synchronized. I'll show it again in another run, but everything is synchronized well, everything responds well, and you can see that if I die on the one side, then obviously the other side shows the same screen, and it works quite seamlessly. Another part obviously I worked on was the AI, and I'll actually pause the game or stop the game to show you because I think it's a little unique. So usually, I just spoiled it, but oops. Usually how I feel like Unreal Engine AI and behavior trees would work was basically this, which was my first iteration when I built it. So you can imagine the root being here and feeding all these conditions, but you can see all these conditions, and you can see all these decisions that the AI can make depending on what data it gets fed. So for example, if the health is less than 1, then it should get knocked down because you're on 0 health. If you're stunned, so if the AI just got attacked, then it's stunned, so you can't attack anyone for like a second, which is the delay right here. If you're not doing anything, then you should choose an attack, and if you're far away from the player, you should move towards the player so that it can perform these attacks or the stuns or whatever. But I want to move away from it because I want to build essentially this, which looks simpler than the one that you just saw, but it's actually, I think in my opinion, more complicated because it uses a utility-based system, meaning that each action that the AI can perform is assigned a score, and it basically picks whatever the highest score is. So for example, if you're far away from the player and the AI is far away from the player, then the AI will say, okay, like we need to move towards the player, so let's just rank that really high. And if you're close to the player, then you should attack or dodge, right? So those scores will be high, and all these parameters essentially can be fine-tuned in this whole thing within the editor, and saying, okay, I want my AI to jab more, then I will increase that value, or if I want the AI to hook more, then I'll increase that value. And you can all see that there's a lot of different things like repeat penalties, which is basically to prevent AI from repeating more action, so it remembers the previous actions it performed. And like, I don't want the fighter to obviously jab, 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 just because that might be the best move. I want the AI to be different, so it can do these penalties, so that it jabs sometimes, it hooks sometimes, it left jab sometimes, it left right jab sometimes. That's all random, and it's all penalties, right? So it doesn't feel like you're fighting a repetitive fighter, you're fighting someone new. And another area I kind of want to delve into, which I did, was essentially it will behave differently, the AI, depending on the amount of health it has. That means that if the AI is 100 health or full health, then it would behave normally, which is, hey, I'm gonna attack you like normally, like you saw in the first demo. But if it's low health, which I'll actually show you as I get into the game right now, it will. I'll actually, so this is normal behavior of the AI, obviously, right? But if I damage it a lot, and you can also see the feedback and synchronization, right? You can see the synchronization in the blood effect, in the slide, in the UIs. But I'll basically get to low health. I think I need maybe one or two more hits. Now, okay. So basically now this AI is in a what I call a frustration mode, right? So, oh, actually, I don't think the AI is in that mode right now. I just need one more attack. I'm keep pausing because I missed the player. There we go. So basically, now it's in the frustration mode. So it's on low health. What it does is that it will slide back, and you can see that it basically gives the player, you, the initiative to attack. And it will basically try to keep its own distance. You can kind of see that it doesn't really follow you. It kind of just, we'll call it, wavers around because it doesn't want to attack you, right? It doesn't want to attack you because it's on low health. Why would it want to get knocked down? So it becomes really annoying to beat. You can see like it keeps dodging around, so it anticipates your attacks as soon as it gets close to you, it tries to dodge. So even if you try to attack, that's not the best camera angle, but even if you try to attack, right, I'll angle myself better. Okay, there we go. That's a little better angle. It's not. Again, it's a two-player game. I'm trying to control with one hand, so you need four hands for this. I'm trying to control with one hand, so it's kind of hard. But basically, the way to beat it would be obviously to pin it down to the corner, right, so that the AI doesn't have anywhere to really run towards, or beat it while it's stunned. So when obviously there's a stun effect, so you can keep attacking when it's stunned and knock it down. But yeah, so like that's basically the game. The two areas majorly area focus on. I could go on forever about other things, right, like the UI, how it's built, and how I made it so that it's synchronized, and how the AI and the player obviously use the same asset, but it looks different, right? Like the player has a green health bar, the AI has a red health bar. I can go on these things forever, and I can like go on without. But I'll finish it off with the actual gameplay of the video, of how it would play out if you played normally and you're not holding a mic with one hand and trying to control everything with one hand. But I'll also finish it with basically future improvements that are coming along. So essentially I'll add custom aim. So right now, even if you look around, it only performs one type of animation, and it won't aim basically where you punch, or it won't punch where you aim. So even if you look up, the punch won't go upwards, it will just be in the middle. So I'll add basically a feature where I can add an IK target, or basically add a blend space of high punches and low punches, so that wherever you aim, the aim punches will go there. And what that can expand to is custom damages depending on body parts you hit. So if it hits the head, it will do 30 damage. If it hits the legs, it will maybe slow the enemy down. So these things will come along. Another thing obviously coming along is the AI improvements. You can see it's not perfect, right? Like it works seamlessly, and I think it's in a mode where I think if you're playing for the first time with a friend or something, it's gonna be pretty fun, because especially because of that dynamic behavior it gives you, depending on how what health the AI has. But obviously it can be improved, and which I will improve. I'm not satisfied with it, obviously, just yet, right? Like, I can definitely improve on. You can always improve on these things, so I'll add these things. Another one I'll improve on is basically networks. You can see that in the games, if I press start, it will start automatically for the other player. But in the future, I'll basically add like a room, like session, join session lobby. So if one player starts, then it will wait for the other player to press start as well. So both players have to press start to start the game. Or maybe I add a little room session where if one player starts, then they'll create a room, and then the other player can join that room to join the game. These things will come along in the next few days, and so be sure to check out other videos that I've made if it has been posted. Give me a few days or maybe a week to upload these new changes and upload these major new updates, but the game will improve as it goes on. And yeah, so basically this game was inspired by Wii Boxing, so you can see the similarities there. But thank you for watching, thank you for your valuable time, and I'll finish the video, like, I guess for the next minute I'll just play the game like how I normally would, by dropping the mic, no narration, so you can enjoy the game. And thank you. Oh. Thank you for watching. Yay, I won.